to add except just thank you so much, everybody, for all the work you've done today and for diving into small groups. Yeah, I'll hand it right back over to Lynn if that works for you.
Awesome, sounds good. Thanks. Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. So as I maybe mentioned, the flip charts will be available after this meeting on your panelist resources page, along with any slides or other information. We'll try to get those there by tomorrow, I believe Kelly said in the chat, which sounds reasonable. And as a reminder, you can also find your entire panelist packet. If you haven't received it in the mail yet, or if you just want a digital copy, it's all on that panelist resources page as well, down in the documents section. There's also, down at the bottom of that page, you'll see a note, and this is mentioned in your welcome packet as well, the ability for you to submit independent research. Every 3 sessions or so, every person on the panel, you have sort of one piece of independent research that you can submit, and that limit is there just so that the panel doesn't sort of get overwhelmed with tons and tons of documents. That still could be a lot of documents, but so every 3 days, so in this first sort of week, you know, if you have something, you've done some research and you want to submit something to the group, that's cool. Just fill out that form at the bottom of that panelist resources page, and we'll put the document there and make sure everybody gets it. So yeah, just a reminder that sort of where we are in the process. As I mentioned, I'm going to remind you of this because these things get complicated. This first 3 days are all about sort of background information, digging into kind of the technical stuff and just understanding what the terminology is and that kind of thing. And then at the end on Saturday, you'll select your own experts from a big menu of potential other experts and stakeholders that the steering committee has put together, and you will call folks to come and speak to the panel next week, in addition to continue to explore the expertise that exists on the panel already, because there's folks, as you know, from all walks of life who have all kinds of different expertise. So the final thing we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce the idea of task committees. Now, there's a couple different, we've already sort of explored base camps, so you're going to come back to your base camps every once in a while, even have a little bit of social time perhaps with the base camps on Saturday. But there's also a couple other kinds of small groups that you're going to be in this process. One of them is randomly selected groups. Of course, we're all about random selection and getting people sort of mixed up with each other. So you'll be in random groups from time to time, and also in something we're calling task committees. So this is kind of groups, everyone will belong to one of these, and you'll sort of do work on behalf of your fellow panelists at different times of the review panel. So as explanation of what these are, I'm going to share my screen here real fast. If I can get back to the proper screen. Okay, perfect. Here we go. So there's 5 different types of task committees. And as I said, everybody's going to belong to one. The last thing we're going to do today is we're going to run a poll here on Zoom where you'll have a chance to select the one or multiple ones that you want to be a part of, or you can select no preference if you really don't care. But if you think you might have.
Lynn, it's Kelly. Can you zoom in a little bit? That's pretty small for some folks that might be on smaller screens. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Is that better? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you have interest or particular skills that might lend themselves to these different committees. So let me describe what they are, and then we'll take a vote. All right, so the first 2 committees are sort of similar. They are, as I mentioned today, staff aren't taking notes. It's on you, but after this meeting, you will have committee members to help do that for you. So these are folks who are going to be helping take notes and also summarizing. the notes. So sort of bringing together sort of themes when these committees meet together. They'll say, okay, what are the different groups? You know, what did you hear in your group? What did you hear in your group? Okay, we're sort of identify some common elements. And there's one group that's doing that for panelists experience and expertise, and one that's doing it for outside experience and expertise. That's like presenters like today. Then the third group is a drafting / wordsmithing group. So these are, you know, if you really think you're good with words, this might be the place for you. When you're writing your final principles for the city, this is the group that will suggest language, help to refine the exact words used. They won't make any final decisions about words, of course, but they'll sort of help do some of the work to get the words right on behalf of the panel. The fourth group is the oversight group, and you'll be monitoring the review panel and us. This is a new kind of public forum, so you'll be taking notes to help the panel in the future. I mentioned in the spring, you'll actually be advising the city not just on HB 2001 or these issues, but also on future public engagement. So this group will sort of be gathering ideas about that. And in the meantime, also helping to monitor us. You'll see results from the surveys we take at the end of the day, and you'll also serve, if you're able, as the panel's representatives on the steering committee. So on sort of a rotating basis. So this committee, if you're available at Thursdays at 1 p.m. and you're interested in sort of oversight or monitoring the process, that's a great place. Also, that additional, you'll be paid, your usual rate for that additional hour on a Thursday that you might be at the steering committee meeting. And the first meeting will be this Thursday at 1 p.m. You don't have to be at all the meetings in order to be part of this group, of course. But if you're never available Thursdays at 1, this might not be the group for you. And the last one is community liaisons. So you'll be working with Healthy Democracy's marketing manager, Adam, who was on maybe said hi earlier, to make this process as accessible to the community as possible. We're working with a school, a civics classroom, who will be observing the panel a couple of days, and we'll be doing some outreach to them. DLCD, you heard from somebody there. They've actually invited us to present on this process as a model for other cities potentially. And you might be a representative of the panel at sort of public events like that, or at least provide support materials, outreach materials for other members of the panel who might want to, talk about the experience here. So any questions about those 5 things? And then I think we'll launch the poll here, and then we're just about done. I can't see the thing, so if anybody can help me see if anyone's raising their hand, that'd be fabulous. All right, super. So as a reminder, you're going to get a poll here and select any of the groups on the poll that you think you'd really like to be part of or that you have particular skills for, and then we'll do our best to place you in your choices. So let's launch the poll. And this goes without saying, but staff, you're disqualified from taking this poll. and it's not anonymous, obviously, because we have to know who you are in order to place you, so we'll know. And while folks are doing that, the last thing on my list here, I believe, is to tell you that about the survey, which I think I mentioned. Every day at the end of the day, there's a short survey, just some basic questions and a chance for you to give us feedback. And your oversight group will also take this as well. So Kelly, if you could put the link in chat, and I believe it's on your panelist resources page as well, a link to the survey. Is that right?
Yes, sorry, flailing. I'm trying to get it brought up. It's actually, I think, going to be easiest to just go to the panelist resources page to access the survey. And I'll put that link in just a minute.
Perfect. That's great. Perfect. And if you forget the password to the panelist resources page, we won't say it right now because this is being live streamed. But after the live stream stops, stay on the line, and we'll remind you of the password. All right. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here. Hopefully everybody's taken the survey if you wanted to. Jenna, does it look like those responses came through all right? I don't know if you can see that or not, but we've gotten some responses. All right, super. Fabulous. All right, so wow, lots of people signed up for the drafting committee. So not everybody that signed up for that will make it on there, but we'll do our best to sort of place you with at least one of the choices that you made as your preference. So with that, let me just check my list here, make sure there's nothing else to say. Kelly, do you have any housekeeping stuff or stuff that you need to tell the panel?
I don't believe so. As Lynn already mentioned, if you have not received your packet yet, I promise it is on the way. You can access all of those materials on the panelist resources page. If you have any questions, confusion, Zoom, whatnot, don't hesitate to reach out so that we can help support you and make sure that you're able to do what you need to do to be successful with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. And good night, everyone. Very nice to see you. Feel free to stay on the Zoom call here if you would like to ask any questions. And let's turn off the live stream